Imperial is our sponsor guest today, and the topic is Rethink Fixed Operations Expense. And Doug Austin, our CEO, will come on in just a moment with some opening comments, and we are all set to go. So to open up the session now, here is Doug.
Well, thank you, David, and thank you, everybody, for joining us today. The Innovative Supplier webinar series started a little over 2 years ago, and we've run probably 50 to 60 of these sessions so far. Our objective is really to introduce the participants to expense categories, audit and recovery categories, new revenue opportunities, new ideas that can help reduce your costs, improve your top line. And what we try to do is bring proven competitive suppliers to the table that can introduce some strategies maybe you haven't thought of. Well, today on the shop supply category, expense category, which is a big one, and every dealer has that, we are fortunate to have Randy Pritchard with Imperial Supplies. So Randy is a real pro at this. We've had some of our highest attended webinars when Randy's on. So you've got a good one today. Randy, take it away.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the introduction, Doug. Today we're going to be talking about shop supplies in general and how Imperial can possibly help you guys out in that particular area. Okay, so guys, we're going to talk about dealer economic headwinds and how Imperial can help you guys out in that area. If your dealership's not currently expressing economic headwinds, I think you've got some coming in the future. One of my best customers, Brian Benstock, he's the leader at the largest Honda dealership in the United States, and he says that a lot of dealers are suffering from a profit coma, and I believe that's about to come to an end. So what are the economic headwinds? Consumer inflation is up significantly. Interest rates are up. Dealer operating earnings are down 27% in the first quarter of 2023. Gross profit per new vehicle sold in the second quarter of 2023 is down 24.5%. And consumers are upside down in new and used cars, meaning they paid the highest premium ever for new cars and used cars since 2020. In addition to that, we got record high consumer debt of $17.6 trillion. So in the current environment, new car sales are going to be slowing significantly because there's not the funds out there for consumers to be buying new cars. So with that being said, dealers have had record profits over the last several years. Some of that is drying up. So it's going to create opportunity for the fixed ops side of the business. And part of that is controlling expenses. And that's what we're going to talk about this afternoon. So Imperial can help. So we're going to be talking about how Imperial can help you significantly cut shop supply expense. And what I like to share is Imperial represents low-hanging fruit for car dealerships. And what does that mean? We will help you cut your shop supply expense between 20 and 45%. That's a big number. The bulk of that comes in cost of goods savings. Our average savings is about 27% on cost of goods, and that's apples to apples comparisons. Same product, just a different distribution model. And then indirect savings. On average, our indirect savings in addition to cost of goods is around 15%. And that's simply getting the route salesperson out of the shop and replacing it with the Imperial technology. In addition to that, Imperial, we follow a 5S process, a lean process improvement process to help clean, label, and organize your shops for maximum efficiency. It's an easy process. Imperial does all the setup work, and it is free to set up and free to test. Little background about Imperial. Imperial is the largest national distributor of fleet maintenance supplies in the country, 1.7 million products, founded in 1958. And in 2009, we became a specialty division of Grainger. Our core competency, our business model is that we use technology and a dedicated account advisor to replace the need for a route salesperson to be in your shop. And we pass the savings on to our customers. In addition, creating maximum efficiency in your shop by 5S implementation. We are the fastest growing dealer to the, or fastest growing supplier to the auto dealer market. World-class customer base. All the Teslas in the United States, all their service centers are set up on the Imperial Supplies program. Sonic Automotive, all their locations are on board. We have a new relationship with Lithia and Hendrick, and a lot of those locations are coming on board. So I basically like to say the best run car dealerships in the United States are using the Imperial Supplies program. We have over 1,000 individual dealerships that utilize the Imperial program now. So first poll question. Who's credited with the famous quote, watch the pennies and the dollars will take care of themselves? You have 10 seconds to answer that poll question. All righty. It looks like we got a highly intelligent group today. It was Benjamin Franklin, and 47% of the contestants or the participants chose Benjamin Franklin. Great job, guys. Okay, so if you look at this slide, this is what they call the business-to-business selling spectrum. And if you understand this slide, you'll understand the Imperial business model. So on the right-hand side is full service, offline-centric. It's essentially what services 90% of the car dealerships in the United States, and that's route salesmen. You got companies like Kent, Worth, Windsor, and Fastenal. It's a very expensive business model. Matter of fact, about 30 cents for every dollar you spend goes to support the route salesman walking in the shop. So on the other end of the spectrum is self-service. You got companies like Amazon, Uline, and Zorro. Over the last 15 years, there has been a shift from the route model to the online model. There's two things that have driven that shift. Number one, price. It's a lot less expensive to manage a Zorro, Amazon, and Uline type business versus the route model. So number one, significant savings associated with it. Number two, Amazon in particular just made it really, really easy to order online with the mobile app. So there's two things driving business to the online area, and that's just simple cost of goods savings and ease of use. So where does Imperial come into play? Imperial is what's characterized as a hybrid model, an omni-channel centric model. So our pricing is more in line with the Amazons of the world. With that being said, we have value-added services that help us displace the route guy. So essentially, Imperial, we use technology. We come in with our Scantel system to clean, label, and organize your shop for maximum efficiency. We have a dedicated account advisor that works over the phone with the end user, but we set our customers up with a mobile app for reordering shop supplies. The average order is less than 10 line items in a car dealership. It literally takes 2 minutes to scan and transmit, and then maybe 10 minutes to restock the order, and a lot faster, a lot more efficient than dealing with a route supply company. So Imperial's goals, our goal is to help a dealership grow their profit, grow their productivity, and grow their people. We start with what we call forensic analysis process. So we want to start with proof of concept. So how much are we actually going to save you? So we set you up with web access, so you have access to your pricing, and then we do what we call forensic analysis. We literally take competitor invoices and dig through them, and we do a apples to apples line item comparison, and then we look for items that are odd on the invoice, and we're able to give you visibility to that. So I take an invoice like this and turn it into an Excel spreadsheet. In this particular case, with our competitor, they spent $394. With Imperial, the same items would have cost $279 or 29.05% savings. Here's a good one. So this is what we do through the forensic analysis process. This is a Uline invoice, and essentially what we discovered is they were paying about twice as much as they should have been paying for gloves. In return, they get a little beach utility wagon along with these gloves. They're paying twice as much as they should be paying. So in this particular example, it's a large Lexus dealership. So on July 6th, they purchased 60 boxes of gloves for $1,200. In addition to that, paid $110 in freight. On July 23rd, they purchased 50 boxes for $1,000 and $291 in freight. So in July, they spent $2,600 on gloves. The same delivered price from Imperial would have been $1,400. So essentially, they spent $1,100 in 1 month. Annualize that. That's $12,000 in excess expense for gloves. But in this case, they were able to get a couple of beach wagons out of this deal. All right, so we do thousands of invoice analysis every year. And this is just showing you a snapshot, average savings from 2022 of different key suppliers on the West Coast. You got Basics. That's a little bit more aggressive than some of the other national suppliers, but their average was 16.97%. We dropped down to the bottom, and against Worth, the average savings was 41%. So again, this is direct cost of goods savings, apples to apples comparison. It's just the savings is associated with a different business model. Poll question number 2, August 2023, 30-year mortgage rates were up what percent over September 2021? A, B, C, D. Give you 10 seconds. And the results. So it's, I guess, reasonably good guesses. Although the rate has moved up like 3 percentage points, has moved up 3 percentage points. That 3 percentage points is the equivalent of a 286% increase. So I'm sharing that with you guys to really highlight the economic challenges that we're facing as a nation and as auto dealers. All right, so in addition to the significant cost of goods savings, Imperial, we utilize 5S, lean process improvement processes, when we go into set your dealership up. So we sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and give you the tools to sustain the Imperial program. So the essence of 5S is to find and eliminate waste, increase productivity and reduce costs, and ultimately create a safer work environment for your employees. So what does field service look like? This is a large dealership in Tampa, Florida. So on the left-hand side is prior to Imperial, and on the right-hand side is after Imperial. So if you look on the left-hand side, you can see that this large Ford dealership over time has had 5 or 6 different suppliers in there. And essentially, the lack of organization, when technicians are looking for product and everything, they can spend several minutes just looking for individual items. So in this particular case, the shop foreman pointed out 162 items that they no longer needed in the dealership. And part of our field service and 5S process is finding and eliminating waste. So in this particular case, we eliminated 162 SKUs based on that shop's recommendation, and they were able to receive a credit of $2,404. But the credit's nice and everything, but the main thing is, if you look at the right-hand side, how organized it is, and we just make it really easy for the technicians to be able to find product, and simple stuff like the bin toppers to keep everything highly organized and keep junk off the top of the bins. So once shop is set up on the Imperial process, we make it very, very easy for reordering. Number one process for reordering is with the mobile app. The camera on the phone acts as a scanner. So you simply go up to where the product is stocked and scan with your mobile app. That's how about 90% of our orders are coming in for auto dealers. We also have little key fob scanners in the event that the dealership doesn't want to use the mobile app. And then we have customers that simply set up My List on the web and order off the web. All this is backed up with a dedicated account advisor that is dedicated to your particular dealership to help you with all the day-to-day activities. So part of the organization process and the sustaining process is you scan and transmit the order to Imperial. We pick, pack, and ship same day. About 70% of the country has next day service and 90% next day or second day service. When the package comes in from Federal Express, you open the box up. It actually has a bin location on the box. So we make it extremely, the put away process extremely easy. Again, the average order is less than 10 line items. So it takes like maybe 15 minutes to put this product away. Quite often at the dealership, it's the counter guys. Counter guys put the OEM stuff away, and most often they're delegated to stock the Imperial type supplies. And again, with the bin location system, literally takes, the average order takes like 10 or 15 minutes to stock. A lot less time than dealing with the route salesperson when they come in. Dedicated account advisors, I've talked about them a couple of times. They're kind of like a concierge service, the one-to-one dedicated to your dealership, handle all the day-to-day needs. They are backed up by product experts and technical support, available by phone, web, and help with anything associated with a mobile app or scanner. Customer testimonials. So Imperial, we create a lot of value for a car dealership. Our goal, my goal going into a car dealership is to help a car dealership save $1,000 per tech per year. So if you got a 10 tech dealership, our higher benchmark is to save you $10,000 a year. I share with customers all the time, if I can't save you at least half that much, then we're wasting each other's time. But it is a process change. Most dealerships are used to having a route guy come in. With us, we use technology to replace this guy. And this is a testimonial for somebody that's been in business for a very long time. Had been in the car business for 34 years. He was very concerned about managing the process itself. And what he discovered is that was very, very easy and easier than dealing with route guys coming in. Takes him 5 minutes to scan and place an order. No longer has to deal with 3 or 4 different salespeople coming in. He orders what he needs when he needs it, 24/7. The Imperial program saves him more time and more money than any program he's ever used. Another testimonial, this was for a Morgan Automotive Group region that converted. The ordering process, stupid easy. With Imperial, they order on their time schedule, and a put away process is a piece of cake. So essentially, at the end of the day, it's all about productivity and saving money. We believe that you can manage your shop supply a lot better than having this route guy come in the shop, because every time he comes in, he's walking out with an order we believe is a distraction in the shop, and with the program that we provide, can save you a lot of time and money. So the benefits, primary benefits of the Imperial program, we're going to help you grow profit, productivity, and people, cut your supply expense between 20 and 45%, and that's a significant cost of good, direct cost of good savings, indirect savings, lean process improvement, 5S alignment, easy. Imperial does all the setup work, and it's free to test and free to implement. I also have a couple of bonus slides for you guys this afternoon, and how Imperial looks at best practices. This is a very large Mercedes-Benz dealership in South Charlotte, North Carolina. So we analyzed their wheel weight spin, and what we discovered is for the stick-on wheel weights, they had 12 different SKUs occupying 3 shelves in the parts room and over $3,000 in inventory. So we did a financial analysis. And what we discovered in 2 years' time on these 12 different SKUs, they spent almost $39,000. And by converting them to what we call the pizza box wheel weights, or wheel weights on a continuous roll, the equivalent, they would have spent $17,000, or in 2 years' time, they would have saved $21,000 on wheel weight expense, a 55% reduction in spend, or over $10,000 per year in wheel weight expense. So what we did, we converted them again to the versus 12 individual boxes of 12 different sizes of wheel weights. We got them set up on 2 different sizes in pizza boxes, 1/2 ounce, 1/4 ounce. So they're on a continuous roll. There's no need for storage in the stock room. They can stock these right out on the shop floor. So the beautiful thing about this, what we were able to accomplish, significantly reduce wheel weight expense. It was a 55% reduction in wheel weight expense. Free up storage space, and they created a credit for $3,000 worth of their old wheel weights. But the main thing is this recommendation of the continuous roll pizza box wheel weights. The techs are happy with the new wheel weights, and they like the process better. So with that, looking forward to answering some questions you guys might have.
All right, everyone, there is a button on the bottom of your screen, Q&A. Just click on that. You can type in your question for Randy, and we'll answer as many as we can during the remaining time. And we got through it pretty quick, Randy. So short and sweet is good for a lot of webinars. So here is one. How long does the evaluation process take?
David, that's a great question. So the evaluation process, essentially, it all starts with reaching out to me. And once you reach out to me, my objective is that myself or one of our national sales managers will reach out to you guys and do an on-site visit within 3 weeks. Once we have an on-site visit, at that point in time, you can determine if you want to do a financial analysis. This is a cumbersome process going line item by line item on the financial analysis. So that generally takes about 2 weeks. And we build a business case based on discovery of what your current process is in the shop and the financials. And my objective is within 6 weeks to be able to present you with a business case, and then you'll be able to make a decision if the Imperial program fits for your goals and objectives. This is a great question. What were your glove prices in 2022 compared to the other suppliers that you showed? Great question. So I've been in industrial distribution for 25 years, and glove pricing during COVID was the most dynamic pricing of any commodity that I've ever seen. So to answer your question, the pricing was all over everywhere for a couple of years on a very high dollar amount per box. Currently, our pricing for our strategic source customers is less than $10 a box. From a competitive standpoint, it went up way high after COVID. Now we're seeing a lot of different price points in the marketplace, but our current price with strategic source is less than $10 a box. Hopefully that answers that question. And again, it's very, very dynamic. And I can't answer where it will be going in the next 6 months.
Randy, this is Doug. I've got a question for you. During COVID, there were a lot of interruptions in supplies, and you guys are, I don't know, you got more than probably 10,000 different shop supply items. Are there any supply-based disruptions going on today? Is there anything that's hard to get that maybe one company should stock up on or be cautious of?
Doug, great question. So being part of Grainger, which has the best distribution model in the United States for supplies. And then we have our own distribution center for Imperial items. What I can share with you is that right now our fill rate is greater than 98%. So it's a very, very high fill rate. I'm seeing very, very little disruptions in any type of supplies. And one thing that Imperial did do, we increased inventories by several $1 million on A and B type items. So today, there's nothing specific out there that we're struggling with from an inventory standpoint. And especially in the auto dealer world, there's not any supply disruptions that I'm aware of.
Thank you. And to the listeners out there, I want to just suggest an experiment, if you would like. Walk into your shops and look at where the shop supplies are being refilled by your suppliers. And look at those bins, rub your finger across some of those items and see how much dust is collected. You probably have over inventory in a lot of cases. And I believe, Randy, your group will also analyze that inventory and potentially buy it back. Is that correct?
That is correct. So that's part of our lean process improvement. The products, generally speaking, they're simply disposed of at the dealership, but we work with dealership personnel and have, generally speaking, a shop foreman and a parts manager identify stuff that's been accumulated over the years, and really anything in our catalog that you want to get rid of, we will remove it and give you a credit for it. Now, again, it's generally disposed of on site. It's just really about lean process improvement. But how the credit works, in the example earlier, it was like $2,400 credit. That goes on the books for that specific dealership, and every order in the future has an additional 5% off until that credit is consumed.
Okay, thank you.
Everyone, you can use the Q&A button to type in your question. Here's another one. How long does it take to convert a shop?
So we go through building a business case. That includes a on-site review that lasts less than an hour, and then the financials. And once we present a business case, we schedule field service on a 3-week cycle. So once we get the green light to convert, it generally takes about 3 weeks to convert. Depending on the shop, average conversion is going to take about 2 days, a very non-intrusive visit. We basically are, labeling up one shelf at a time, one drawer at a time, one bin at a time. So pretty seamless process to the dealership.
And here is another. Can we get Grainger items through Imperial?
Another great question. So we were acquired by Grainger in 2009. And they've really been a very good partner. So essentially we're kind of like, we're like Grainger's low-cost little sister company. So we have a low-cost distribution model that is focused on technology. So with that being said, practically everything in the Grainger catalog, 95% of what's in the Grainger catalog, you can purchase through the Imperial model at a considerable discount. But we got access to everything in the Grainger catalog. You order it through the Imperial process, pick, pack, and ship, and bill through Imperial.
And mentioning again, just before we wrap, the Q&A button, you can type something there for us before we conclude our time. I see one more question. We have one small dealership. Would we get the same pricing?
Another very good question. Managing this process through strategic source, every location, regardless of what size, gets the same price and same benefits.
Andy, this is Doug again. One of the things that we see in every dealership, because they tend to be decentralized, so you've got a lot of people making a lot of different vendor decisions. When you go into a dealership and start your analysis, how many shop supply vendors do you typically see? What's the average for that particular dealership?
So the average dealership, we have about 6 different suppliers that we can displace. The more decentralized it is, generally speaking, the more suppliers that they'll have. And if you have 5 dealerships, you could have 50 different suppliers going in. So traditionally, dealerships have been very decentralized, pushing the decisions down to the parts manager, service manager, and really just not a very sophisticated procurement process. And that's where Doug and his team come in. So there's not a question on this, but there is one thing I would like to expand on. Someone mentioned gloves and the price volatility there. Also, wheel weights just in the last year have had a tremendous amount of volatility. The primary domestic supplier in the United States had increases in wheel weights of 24% over a 2-month period of time, like 12% one month and 13% the next month, something like that. And that hasn't played real well in the marketplace. As a result of that, Imperial has our own private branded stick-on wheel weights now that are a superior wheel weight. It's the best wheel weight from a testing standpoint in the marketplace right now. It is the 1/4 ounce and 1/2 ounce wheel weights. And with this wheel weight, it's a game changer as our price points in most of the analysis that I'm looking at is about a 40% savings. So higher than our average savings on a particular commodity, but I look at it as a big win-win. It is a superior product. The stickiness of the wheel weight, which is a primary concern, the adhesiveness of it is the best in all the testing that we've done. And again, at a very, very good price point, that's a game changer for some dealerships.
I don't see any other questions. So Doug, if you wanted to activate your webcam and come on to prepare to close.
Well, Randy, a very efficient, powerful, informative session. We really appreciate your time today and the information you shared. And I'd really encourage you if you take a look at your wheel weights or your shop supply situation, chances are you are operating with far too many suppliers. We see that in virtually every expense category, but most notably in the shop supply. And the reason for that is a lot of times is, a lot of shop supply vendors will sell out of the back of their truck and their loss leader might be a can of brake clean and they get their foot in the door with that. And what you've now done is just brought on another supplier. You have to get another 1099 process, set them up in your system, and cut a check to them, and pretty soon your supply base just grows. And the most efficient way is to find one partner, whether it's Imperial or somebody else, and just narrow that supply base down, get the best pricing and terms that you can, and simplify the business model. As Randy said, a lot of the decentralized purchasing is just not very sophisticated. I think the objective of the people making the decision is to reduce costs, and everybody wants to cut costs. But when you keep adding more and more suppliers, you add more and more complexity to the organization. So think about single sourcing and, with a better partner such as Imperial. And I think you'll not only reap improved pricing, but a lot of new efficiencies into your business model as well. So Randy, thank you very much for your presentation today. It was very good. For those of you who are clients of Strategic Source, thank you for joining. I hope this was helpful in understanding Imperial's approach as well as Strategic Source's approach on the supply side. If you are not currently a client of ours, of Strategic Source, and you're interested, please give us a call at 612-386-3898 or email us at sales@strategicsource.com. We'd be happy to walk you through our program and let you know how we can help you in over 100 expense categories, not just shop supplies. We will have a copy of this webinar available on our website probably by tomorrow. So if you're interested in seeing it again or directing your employees to watch this, watch our website, and a copy will be up there. But we thank you all for attending today. Again, thank you, Randy. You've done a heck of a job, and we really appreciate your expertise. Take it away, David.
All right. Thank you, Doug, and thank you, Randy. I'm going to launch the post-session survey. We just have 2 questions for you as you get ready to depart. We want these webinars to be as good as they can, best use of time as they can for all. So just let us know those 2 answers there, and we'll pass it on. Thanks, everyone, for attending today. And we look forward to you joining us on future webinars with Strategic Source. Have a great rest of the week, everyone.